Hello, Steve White, Steve White 39. Well, a little bit of stuff happening in the world of Madonna today. None of which really warranted their own video, I felt, but then I thought you can just do one about all of them. So the first thing is Madonna popped up in LA to attend a Black Lives Matter protest with her boyfriend. Um, and a lot of people are like, how did she get to LA? Aren't there travel bans? I found that curious, but I sort of was aware recently that private planes and rich people basically are able to travel and not quarantine and all of this, and it's like that's interesting. But that's Madonna's not responsible for that. But apparently that's happening. So it's just domestic, like commercial air flights that are banned basically. So that's interesting. But I also found it interesting that her boyfriend was there because when I saw the other videos and that of her at the protest in London, I thought she was there by herself, and I didn't actually notice Mercy and David were there. Um, I guess people just focused on Madonna, and there were so many black people around, I just didn't see them in the background. But they were actually there, so she wasn't there by herself. I thought it was spontaneous. I figured she must have been like having a treatment, and it was like in the area, and she's like, screw it, I'm gonna go, and she just sort of showed up. But no, she actually went there with her son and her daughter, so it was planned. So it was interesting to see her in Los Angeles because I'm like, isn't she in London? How is she traveling? How is she doing this? And I'm like, oh, that's right, she's rich. Rich people can do whatever they want. Okay. Um, but I don't know how good that is, but they have their own security, they have their own screenings and all that, so they're protecting themselves, so they're probably, yes, much safer than the usual domestic sort of person traveling. But other things that are happening, Madonna's white satin dress, which unfortunately they've misspelt it. Um, it's being sold at Julian's auction centre, and it's actually spelt white stain dress. I think they mean satin dress. It's from the Vogue video, the one at the start of the video where she's moving her back, and you can see the lines of like diamonds or whatever, jewels or whatever, moving and all that. That's being sold, and some people are I'm kind of a bit shocked. I'm like, how does she not own that? How is that not in a private collection? How is that not in a museum? It's the Vogue dress, and a lot of people are having that reaction, and I'm like, I'm thinking the same thing, but I'm like, well, she probably rented it at the time. They probably needed um, period clothes, and they just went to a Hollywood studio, or maybe she rented it from some very fancy person, and it was a very expensive classic dress, probably designed by someone important. So she probably never owned it. So someone else has sold it, and sold it's been resold, and now it's being sold again. So that's a little bit of a pity. I would have liked that it was a dress that she had done for her and kept. And there's some other pieces. The like gown she's wearing in the start of the Material Girl video, where she's talking on the phone, and a few other things. And I'm like, how is this not all? How I'm assuming Madonna has this giant storage area with everything that she ever used in a video, knowing that it's all valuable and iconic and should be in a museum, or at least that she doesn't want someone else selling it and making money off her. So I'm kind of surprised that some of the things are actually coming up. Michael Jackson did the same thing. Unfortunately, he didn't pay on his, or someone in his entourage or his management didn't pay for his storage unit, and all his stuff got sold to someone. So it all ended up while he was alive being sold off, and he had no control of it because they didn't pay. It then became property of the people who ran the storage facility. So you got to watch stuff like that. Maybe she lost. Maybe there was some stuff in storage somewhere she forgot about. I know her letter to Tupac was up. Tupac was up for sale a while ago because she'd given them to an assistant or someone, and then they sold them, and there was some argument, and she actually went to court about it. And I'm not sure why she lost. I don't know if just possession is that enough really to take something that belongs to someone else because they gave it to you to hold on to. They're not like that doesn't mean they're giving it to you to own. I don't know. I didn't look into that case too much. I didn't follow that. I just watched for the verdict. And the other thing, which is a good thing, which I'll end off with, La Isla Bonita hit 300 million views on YouTube just recently. I think it's sitting at, I just looked at it a few minutes ago, it was 300 million and 69,000. Or was it 690,000? Either way, it's just hit 300 million, which is really good because a little while ago she had 4 videos in different decades all hitting 100 million views on YouTube. Now, it took 10 years to get there. And that's part of the problem with Madonna. She has a lot of people. One of the reasons certain fan groups are arguing she's not relevant is her presence on things like YouTube and streaming. Well, all of her fans have her CDs. They don't need to go streaming like new fans of new artists. So it's not comparable. And we spent years watching videos and her on MTV and stuff like that, and none of that is recorded like the streaming views of artists now. So you can't really compare the two. But one of the things with her videos was when YouTube first came up, the studios didn't support it. So a lot of fans put up videos, and there are millions and millions of views for Madonna videos that were attributed to fan channels, which were taken down later. And then Warner Brothers came in and they put up their videos and they got rid of all the other videos, and all those views were lost. And then Madonna kind of came in and set up her own channel, and some of the videos were deleted and the views were lost. Some were transferred, but basically when you look at Madonna's views, they're not all the views, because there are other videos at the time that were stealing views from her or preceded her official videos that aren't being counted. And people don't take that into account, which is a pity, because a lot of the new artists, their videos were put in, and those are the original videos that are still up, and they've got all the views. So it's a bit unfair to compare someone with videos from 10, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, almost 40 years ago, and compare them to people who've had videos up just for like 5 years, and every view that was ever sort of, viewed for that is recorded, because their people were able to actually keep all the other videos off, so you only saw their videos and they got all the views. That didn't happen with Madonna. And when you look, there are songs that are 20, 30 years old, and the YouTube video, of course, is like 3 years old or something. It hasn't even been there for the length of YouTube, let alone the length of its actual life. So, congratulations, Isla Bonita, but we need to take into consideration the fact that a lot of Madonna's views are not counted, and her influence and relevance are far bigger than what is sort of recorded in some of the YouTube videos' views, which a lot of people would use as a reference. Not really understanding, how it worked. Just like a lot of people are comparing current record sales of artists which are, I feel, padded by streaming and YouTube views and stuff like that, and compare them to actual sales for someone like Madonna. Someone was comparing Rihanna, who's had a lot of sales, but they're not real sales. And I think we need to make that distinction and not compare sales from this decade or last decade with people from the 90s and 80s and 70s. It's just, you can't compare them. They're too different. Which does make it difficult to then compare artists and their success, because they've been measured differently. So that's all interesting. Well, I think it's interesting enough that I want to talk about it. You don't have to listen. But if you have, thank you. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'm kind of watching her videos. Like Hung Up has 248 million, so that'll be hitting 250 million soon. God, where's Bitch on Madonna? That wasn't that already over 300? That had a lot of views. But yeah, I'm glad that they at least now seem to have finally gotten Madonna's videos under control to a certain extent, and now at least from here on, pretty much all her views she's going to get. Although there are an odd amount of videos of hers that do come up. Like some, actually, now I think about it, when you search some of the videos, other people's videos are still there and come up first. So they actually know they need to get this sorted, because as much as I don't like having videos taken down because of content, I think if you're just posting the official video and you're just trying to get streams, views off that person and off their work, your video should be taken down. If you've got an alternative version or a different version or a better quality version than the official one, it has a right to be seen. I think viewers, we have a right to see these videos, and we shouldn't just be limited to the official video, unless of course someone is just downloading the official video and putting it up on their page trying to get views that should go to the actual artist. So there's some distinctions to be made there. But I'm glad Isla Bonita got to 300, and I'm looking forward to watching Madonna's other videos grow as this sort of situation of other people putting up her videos and getting her views is getting more under control. But they really need to sort that out. I was thinking it was sorted, but I just realized it's actually not. But I'm going to go. Bye.